Hello guys, today I want to present a new Livewire component, 30-second Livewire component on my livewirekit.com, and this is application form builder. I received this email with a question of how to deal in Livewire with a thing like this. So the form looks like this. There is some kind of a drop-down choice which should automatically refresh the text area, and you can delete that row. It's not in English, it's in Spanish from what I understand. So you can add a row, delete a row, and automatically fill in the text area by the value of drop-down value. And I've recreated that locally and created a component out of that. So typical questionnaire or application form where you have question after question, you can add more questions, you can delete a question and stuff like that. And then you can choose from the template, which is preceded in the database in the template folder. And when you choose the template, the value of that template is automatically filled in, but you can still edit that out or change the value. And if you delete that and save the whole form, it's just saved successfully and refresh the whole form. So how does it look in the code? And let's start with the models. There's a model called template eloquent model, form and form question. Form and form question is just has many relationship. We will save the main form and every form will have many questions, so it has many relationship. And then the template is just the name and the text, and the name will be the value of the drop down, the visible value, and the text will be what will go inside of that text area. So in the database, I've seeded 4 templates as an example. And then if we go to our blade, the main blade of the Laravel, so it's not even Livewire yet, I have a Tailwind blade, and for every component on Livewire Kit, there's a Tailwind blade and Bootstrap blade. So 2 front-end framework versions, and then wherever you need that form, you just load Livewire component, which is called form create. In that component, form create component, what properties do we have? What variables? Templates is the drop-down values. It's an array, so every row will have an array of templates, an array of questions, or in fact each row will be an element of that array. All templates will load from the database once in the mount method, and then in the render of form create we use those all templates. Let's take a look at the blade file. So we have the main form with an event of save form. We will get to that in a minute. If the form is saved, we will show an application form saved successfully success message. And then the questions table, and we do for each of the questions, which is by default array with 1 element in the very beginning. So we create 1 element, 1 row, which is shown here. And then for each of the questions, that is wire modeled to templates with the same index. This index is actually important. And the first element has 0 index. So this visual template dropdown is wire modeled to templates array. And then the Textarea is wire modeled to questions array. So there are 2 properties, these, so templates and questions. And then when we want to add a question, there is a button wire click add question, which just adds another element to the questions array with empty string, that's it. And then remove question, that's why index is important. Which question to remove? Wire click prevent the button of remove question. So visually this one removes the question with index, and then we remove that from the array, and then array values makes it reconstructing the array again with keys from 0 to the last one again. And then updated is the method which actually refreshes this text area. So whenever this is changed, then updated hook is fired. It's Livewire hook updated, and it has name and value or key and value. And whenever something is updated, we immediately go to this saved is false, which hides the message on the top. And then we try to process that key, and that key is with dot notation. So if we go to create blade, templates dot something dot index. So if we have 2-part key and the first part is templates, then we get to the second key, which is second part, parts 1, which will be the key, the index of the question, and we refresh that question with the template value from the database. But we don't need to load it from the database again, because we do have all templates here. Remember, we mounted them in the very beginning in the constructor, so I call it, of Livewire component. So we work with that collection and we just go where ID value, and this is where value comes in, the ID of that dropdown, and we get first value and the text. And if that text is not empty, if it exists, then we assign that to the question. And then the render is happening automatically and refreshes the form by filling in the value of wire model here. So Textarea gets its value. And finally, on save form, all we need to do is create the form without any parameters. That form actually is Eloquent model. It's not any package or anything. It's just Eloquent model. Maybe it could be called application form if you want it to be more clear, but I left it as form. And then for each of the array of the questions, we create it with has many relationship by filling in one field. And then we reset the values and show success message. That's basically it. Quite a small component, but this is what I'm doing here on Livewire Kit. There are 32 components altogether, and they are mostly showing the core possibilities of some scenarios like data tables, form with live validation, charts and stuff like that. And whenever you download that code, you can then adapt it to your needs. Your models, what do you want to do after saving the form? Do you want to redirect something? Do you want to use something like Sweet Alert or whatever? This is up to you. So my goal is to show you the core of how to move the data and how to save the data, and this is all in the Livewire Kit component. Again, you can check out all the components at livewirekit.com. There are 32 altogether, and the price for that is $29 for all of them. So it's a one-time price, which gets you all the components to download once. And also, if you are filling in your GitHub username here in the payment form, so here GitHub username, you will get invited into GitHub repository where you will receive all the other components in the future, which I will create in the upcoming future. If you have any ideas for new components on Livewire Kit which don't exist yet here in the list, then shoot in the comments or email me directly, povilas@laraveldaily.com. I quite like playing around with Livewire and create more kits for you or more videos on this YouTube channel showing the Livewire, and see you guys in those other videos.